Hello everybody, and today we're looking at the Dell Optiplex 790. So I picked this system up for $69, nice, and it comes with an i3 2100 and integrated graphics, and as you can see here, it's a TAFE computer. It's an Australian university, and yeah, took the stickers off there, didn't really want it there. So doing a bit of an overview here, and would I recommend it in 2021? So if you've got your serial ports, whatever they're called, DVI, and then 2 VGA, and it's a splitter in that thing. See if you can see that or not. It's pretty disgusting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB ports on the back here, and another 4 on the front. We also have gigabit Ethernet port there. We have our 2 audio headphone thingies. Have a regular, well that's not regular at all, but regular socket though for that power supply there. It is a small kind of power supply that runs across here. Just like go into it in a second. There's some more basic info about it there. So this computer has 4 RAM slots of 8 gigabytes. Came with 4. I put an extra 4 gigs in there, and it was pretty good. DDR3 RAM as well, weighs 5.7 kilos, so pretty light compared to other computers out there. But yeah, we're gonna open it up and show you what's inside really and what we can do with it. So lift it like that, and it just comes out. Pretty straightforward. Other side of that there. What is this? 2012. Okay. So inside there, looks a bit confusing when you first open it up, but I think this is a 250 watt power supply. You can check that up here. So it is a 240 watt max power supply there, which is okay. So we can remove the optical drive here by just pulling that out and that out, and lifting it up and just sliding out. Regular slim DVD drive here, and I've put a 240 gig actually SSD in here just for a bit of extra kick and a bit of extra speed, which is always nice. I still got the original hard drive in there, which I'll show you in a second, because I've managed to put both of them in the same cage. So this is not at all a regular motherboard, because the CPU is like all on the right side, which I'll show you in a second. And the CPU fan and heatsink here, it's a bit of a weird design. Blower style cooler there. Air comes out here, the hot air. So take this out, take all these cables out. If you got one of these stock, you won't have these 2 here. You can move that one, oops, sorry, and get in there and remove that one. There we go, and just pull that to the left, and it should come up like that. There we go, so that is your hard drive cage. I've squeezed my SSD in here very tightly, but it's actually pretty good in there. So we have a 500 gig, 3.5 inch hard drive. They both come out, but I don't want to. Actually, might as well. There we go. That's a drive cage for you. That's a SSD I got there. 500 gig Seagate hard drive. You might have different brands, not too sure, but that's what mine came with. Now, it originally came with only these 2 sticks here, but I put in these 2 here for an extra 8 gigs, for an extra 4 gigs, sorry. So you've got, I think it's an 80mm fan there, blows air this way towards the power supply, and up here and out there. Yeah, pretty sciencey. And there's your CPU under that. It's pretty cool actually. It doesn't get too hot, not loud at all, so it's not roaring when you've got it next to you. Now, if you wanted to transplant this into a regular sort of case, this is not the computer for you. Since you can't actually take this motherboard out. It doesn't have the correct fittings and screws and whatever, but you can still put I think it's a Max as a GTX 1650 low profile card in there. Personally, I'm just doing a bit of Googling and a bit of stuff on my 3D printer with this computer here. So does all the tasks, and it's pretty slim form factor. Now you can actually upgrade these to, I think it's an i7, but these are pretty cheap builds. I would recommend going with like an i5 3470. They're also in other Optiflex builds I've seen before, and they're pretty cheap. Now, would I recommend getting one of these in 2021 and or 2022? It depends how much you get it for. If you get it for a cheap price, under about $90, yeah, go for it. But anything more than that, with these specs, maybe if you got an i7 or 16 gigs of RAM or a graphics card that came with this one, yeah, pay up to like $200-300 for that. Pretty good deal. But I would recommend going with one of these that came from like universities and schools, whatever, because you can get it pretty cheap and just upgrade it yourself. So to put this hard drive back in here, if you're going to get an Optiflex like this, I would highly suggest getting an SSD. Makes everything so much faster. So it is a bit difficult with this SSD and hard drive in here, so we have to kind of squeeze these cables in here. Now, it's on. So yeah, we're going to go to the computer now and have a look from there. So that's all for today's video. Make sure to subscribe. I'm recording on a MacBook here, so quality shouldn't be that good. Yeah, if any questions, leave them below. I can test benchmarks, whatever. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.